I recently found myself encountering what I related to as a breathtaking flashback. And I was probably inspired by that thing going on in Congress. But it was a flashback of an event that occurred about 20 years ago when what you might call the gurus of government, our United States Congress, folks, they came face to face with an honest-to-God peak experience. I kid you not. It was an occasion of what you could righteously call senatorial samadhi. There they were, right down to the tears and the rapture that always accompanies a moment of totally authentic inspiration. And what was the source? What kind of happening did it take to totally capture the attention and the sentiment of over 500 sophisticated power brokers who've pretty much seen and heard it all? It was a statement of profound insight coming from a quiet, unassuming poet, playwright, on the occasion of his message to the U.S. Congress, Václav Havel, first president-elect of a free and independent Czechoslovakia, mesmerized the worldly sophisticates of his audience with the following statement: "The salvation of this human world lies nowhere else than in the human heart, in the human power to reflect, in human meekness and human responsibility." Please notice, nowhere did he suggest that salvation can be found in the guided missile of a stealth drone, the command console of a Trident submarine, or a fanatical faith in the killing potential of a surge. He continued, without a global revolution in the sphere of human consciousness, nothing will change for the better in the sphere of our being as humans. And the catastrophe towards which this world is headed, be it ecological, economic, social, political, demographic, or a general breakdown of civilization, will be unavoidable. Even if we are no longer threatened by world war or nuclear annihilation, we still might find ourselves living in a world that is not safe or sustainable. I would say, how prescient, how farsighted can someone be 20 years ago, making a statement that so vividly captures some of the realities we're living through right now. If this new millennium is to witness our civilization successfully navigating its currently chaotic rapids to arrive at a new level of evolution, it will require that we as individuals, alone and in concert, truly rise to the occasion. We will be called upon to reflect in our lives a gentleness and a friendliness of spirit, a wisdom-born clarity that can see through the entrapping mediocrity of what you might call free market nirvana, the religious pretense of unholy jihads, and the spiritually bankrupt bellicosity of eye for an eye foreign policy. It is a clarity that will compel us to act with will and courage and firmness to embrace spiritually informed values and create alternative institutions or reinvent existing ones so that they truly reflect our deepest intuitive understandings. Only if we are guided by a yearning for truth and are free to enter into the marketplace of life with unconditional love will we succeed. I sense that spirit here at Unity. Many of you are already beginning to see your time and money as useful instruments of peaceful, loving service. So know this: as you commit your resources to the common good, you ennoble your existence and bring great joy to the heart of God's creation. You have answered the call of Matthew 19, 16 to 25. Let me share that with you. It's a tough one. Matthew 19, 16th verse, it begins, "And behold, one came and said unto him, Good teacher, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?" I find that incredibly interesting. The first response had nothing to do with the question. His first response is, "Why callest thou me good?" You remember the rest of it? "Call none good save one, and that is the Father in heaven. Call none. Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, and that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments." And he said unto him, "Which ones?" I love it. You gotta keep them all? My God. "Which ones?" And Jesus said, "Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness." You know the 10. "Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." And the young man said unto him, "All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I? What lack I?" And Jesus said unto him, "If thou wilt be perfect and enter into the kingdom of heaven, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me." Oops. That's getting down to the nitty-gritty of the grace. What's it take? What's it take? Jesus is saying what it takes to enter this kingdom of heaven, which is to move through life with an ongoing sense of equanimity and peace in every breath of that life. It takes a capacity to move through it without any attachment to the material domain, to have superseded that, to let it go, to let it be just what it is, without ever insisting or demanding it be different. Then you shall know peace as your essential nature, the peace that you've been given from the beginning and will celebrate eternally, as long as you don't get hooked into by assigning ultimate value to anything out here. But the young man, when he heard that story, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. He thought so. He thought he had great possessions, and actually the only possessions he had were bondage makers. They were possessions that kept him out of the kingdom he wanted so deeply to get involved with. I think most of us here are beginning to certainly play around the edges of that and beginning to see the necessity of truly dedicating our spiritual quest to those times when we come to see the undeniable connection that exists between attachment to material stuff and the quality of our emotional experience. Every emotional experience we have is a self-imposed phenomenon. And all the negative parts of it come out of an insistence that what is be different. Has anybody done that as recently as this morning? Yeah, we do it all the time. We're constantly weighing and measuring our world and then comparing it to some mental notion for how it should be instead. And therein lies the ground of our suffering and the place where we are being called to experience a great shift in the nature of human consciousness. For that's what drives all conflict. Commitment and dedication to the material domain. Insistence that I have more and more and more, and that you don't mess with my sandbox. Just let me say thank you for allowing me to participate in the miracle of your love and the fruit of your labor as we join hands to take our Unity Center into the new age as a profound agent of a global revolution in the sphere of human consciousness. I salute you all. Thank you for being there for that. God bless you.